Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox. I would like to welcome you to the Sunday Book Review. The Sunday Book Review is the series where I discuss books which impact the compliance practitioner, the legal professional, and the business professional. I hope you will enjoy this episode. This episode is dedicated to Roger Kahn, who passed away this weekend. He is one of the great authors of books on baseball and some of the most memorable books I've ever read, and I wanted to take this Sunday Book Review to honor him. And we, of course, begin with The Boys of Summer. This was one of the books I read as a teenager that perhaps stuck with me and moved me the most, so I'm going to begin with it. It's a classic narrative of growing up within shouting distance of Ebbets Field, covering Jackie Robinson's Dodgers and what happened to everyone since. For anyone playing baseball, it is a great primer on the great Dodger teams of the 50s, but more importantly, what happened to them afterwards. Certainly tragedy, certainly success. These were a time when sports athletes were really just people, and they had to go on and live their lives after some amazing careers. The 50s Dodgers are legendary for having gone to the World Series and only won 1 out of 6 times in the 50s. But the stories of the men after they retired from baseball were as powerful for me as the stories of the Dodgers. Next up, the book entitled The Era, 1947 to 1957, when the Yankees, the Giants, and the Dodgers all ruled the baseball world. This book, Roger Kahn cast his gaze on the golden age of baseball, an unforgettable time when the game thrived as America's national sport, and the number of teams and number of players were at its peak in terms of quality. The Negro Leagues there had been integration, and so top black players were coming into Major League Baseball, and the quality of baseball during the 50s was as high as any other time that it has seen. It begins with Jackie Robinson changing Major League Baseball by taking the field with the Dodgers. Some of the dazzling moments that characterized the decade that followed, certainly the arrival on the scene of Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, Bobby Thompson, Duke Snider, Yogi Berra, Casey Stengel's crafty managing, the emergence of televised baseball, the stunning success of the Yankees that they played in 9 out of 11 World Series, and then, of course, the relocation of the Dodgers to Brooklyn and the New York Giants to San Francisco. So it was certainly an era, and it was an era of perhaps the greatest baseball ever. Next, we turn to another book I heartily recommend, The Roger Kahn Reader, 6 Decades of Sports Writings of Roger Kahn. So he wrote for Sports Illustrated, the New York Times, Esquire, the New York Herald Tribune, which of course no longer exists, and his sports writing is some of his best writing. I greatly enjoyed this book, and I know you will as well. It has stories about Walter O'Malley, Don King, Ted Williams, Stan Musial, Guy Lafleur, Bob Gibson, Red Smith, Roger Maris, just a ton of great athletes, and a way for you to get into his great sports writing. And we conclude with a book about the minor leagues entitled Good Enough to Dream. And this is a story of an owner of a Class A team in Utica, New York, the Utica Blue Sox, and they all shared the dream of going to the major leagues. It looks at America's pastime literally from the very lowest level of baseball and how people will follow their dreams, making not very much money in a way that really honors that game. And I think this brings home to everyone that you can follow your dream. You may not get your dream, but your dream may open up in ways that you had not thought of. So check this one out as the last of the 4 books I recommend on Roger Kahn. Once again, Roger Kahn edition. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this production of the Sunday Book Review, which is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.